So today we will talk about president. President is the constitutional head of India. Okay, basically, presidents is in term of respect. It has more value than a prime minister. But in terms of power, prime minister has more power than president. Okay, all the executive power of the federal government given to the president by the constitution. So constitution gives lot of power to rule over the federal state of India, okay, to the president. All the administration of the central government is carried out in the name of president. So all the work at Delhi level is carried out in the name of president. He is the head of the nation and first citizen of Republic of India. So he is the head of nation and he is the first citizen of Indian Republic. Qualification: a president's candidate should be a citizen of India and should be 35 years of age or more. So the age of the president should be 35 years or above. He should not be a salaried employee of government or hold any office of profit. So what they are saying that the president should not hold any other position in India, of any government position in India. If the president is doing some government job, he has to leave that job. Okay. He should not be a member of any house of the parliament or state legislative assembly. That means he can't be a member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, or he can't even be a part of any state legislative assemblies that are present. The presidential election is indirectly carried out by the members of the both houses of the parliament. So the president is elected indirectly by both the houses of the parliament, that is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, and the elected members of state legislative assemblies. So all the state legislative assemblies which are there, they also vote. Okay, so it is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and legislative assembly, and the elections are indirect. A president is elected for a term of 5 years. So a president is elected for 5 years and he can contest the election after completion of his term. So means after he has completed his 5 years, after he has completed his 5 years, he can stand in election again. When the president is in power, neither criminal case can be framed against him, nor an order of arrest or improvement can be issued. So once you are a president of India, there can be no criminal case against you, or no one can frame any, no one can frame any case against you. Okay. Functions and powers. He appoints the leader of the party who has gained majority in the general election as the prime minister. So what happens is that he appoints, okay, meaning he selects the prime minister who is the leader of the party. Now usually what happens is, let's say ki right now BJP is in power. So BJP will tell the president that this is the person we want to be the prime minister. So he will select the leader of a particular political party who has been a winner, who is in majority, and out of them he will select one leader, okay, who will represent as a prime minister. But usually it's like a common decision of the party that whom they want to make a prime minister. Okay. Then with the consultation of the prime minister, he appoints the other ministers of the cabinet. So once a prime minister is elected, once prime minister is selected, after consulting the prime minister, he appoints the cabinet minister. So the prime minister tells the president that these are the people I want as my cabinet minister. These are the people I want to give different portfolios or different jobs to. For example, agricultural minister, defense minister, this minister, that minister. So the prime minister tells the president, and according to that, the president selects the cabinet ministers. He administers the oath of distribution of portfolios to ministers, meaning he gives different portfolios, different position to these ministers. As long as the cabinet is the head of the defense, as long as the cabinet enjoys the support of the majority members of Lok Sabha, the president cannot dissolve the cabinet. So what they are saying that unless and until the Lok Sabha is in majority, unless and until a particular government is running in majority, has the support of its party, the president cannot say ki, I am going to start a new government, or I will appoint a new government, I'll appoint the prime minister. No. Because these people are elected by us. The people at Lok Sabha are elected by us. Prime Minister is indirectly elected by us. So the president cannot say कि चलो I don't want to work with particular prime minister, तो હું એને જોબમાંથી કાઢી નાખું. No. If suppose the prime minister loses the majority, if the prime minister does not get the support of his minister, then the president can dissolve the government and can start a new government. Otherwise, no, it cannot. President is the head of the defense forces of the country. So all the defense forces ka head is the president. The president has the power to declare war, cease the war, or conclude treaties with other countries. So it is the president who declares war on other countries or ceases war. Ceases war or ends the war or signs the treaties with the other countries. He appoints the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court, governors of the state, attorney general, comptroller, and auditory general. So all these people are selected by the president. He appoints the head of the defense forces. So Navy, Army, Air Force na head je che, who appoints? The president. He appoints the chairman of the Union Public Service Commission and ambassador to various nations. So he appoints the chairman or the head of all the UPSC exams which are going to get conducted. Head is appointed by the president. Even the ambassadors which are there in every nation is appointed by the president. Meaning, આપણો એક representative બધી country માં હોય. પાકિસ્તાનમાં હોય, આપણો representative USA માં હોય, UKમાં હોય, એવી રીતના બધી countriesમાં આપણો એક representative હોય. એ લોકોના representatives બી આપણી countryમાં હોય. તો આ representatives which are there in all the countries are appointed by the president. Thus, vast authorized executive and administrative powers are vested in president. So there are a lot of executive and administrative powers which the president has. He has a great pardon or reduce the sentence of any convicted person. Let's say there is a particular criminal in a death sentence I pucha, and he goes to the president and says ki please save me and don't give me death sentence and all. The president can stop his death sentence or reduce his stay in a jail. So if you go to the president, then he can do that. Okay. Or he can postpone the implementations and can change the nature of punishment. He can change, let's say Supreme Court has given death punishment. So he can change it and make it into, let's say, lifetime jail. Or if it's a lifetime jail, then he can change it into 6 months of prison. So it's up to the president. If he wants to change a sentence of a particular person, he can do that. He summons the session of both the houses of the parliament and prorogues them. Meaning, જ્યારે લોકસભા અને રાજ્યસભા બે એક સાથે મળે ત્યારે president is present and he addresses the parliament. Okay. He can even dissolve the Lok Sabha. If the president is satisfied that the security of India or any part of the territory is threatened by war or external aggression or armed rebellion, he can declare a state of emergency. He can dissolve the Lok Sabha. Okay. And let's say if there is a case of emergency in India, let's say there is a war declared, or let's say there is a big emergency in India, then the president can declare emergency and he will implement something called as the presidential rule. The declaration of emergency cannot be challenged in court. So if the president says it's an emergency, you cannot go to court and say the president has done it wrong, he can't do it, blah, blah, blah. No. You can't challenge his decision in the court. Okay. Based on the report of the governor, the president can declare constitutional emergency in that state. Let's say a particular state is there. Let's say Gujarat. And people are not following rules and regulations. They are not following the constitution. Then government can say to dissolve the government and to declare something called as president's rule. By dissolving the state cabinet ministry, in case of financial emergency, the president can reduce the salaries of all government officials, including judges of the Supreme Court and High Court. Let's say there is a financial problem in India. Let's say money is less in India. Then at that point of time, the government can introduce something called as financial emergency. In that, the salary of all the government officials, salary of High Court judge, Supreme Court judge can be reduced by the president. Though the president has vast executive and administrative powers, and though all of the administration can be considered in the hands of president only, and done in the name only. In reality, Prime Minister and Council of Ministers enjoy these powers. So આ બધા જે પાવર્સ જે છે ને ભલે પ્રેસિડેન્ટ પાસે હોય પણ પ્રેસિડેન્ટ પ્રાઇમ મિનિસ્ટર અને કેબિનેટ ઓફ મિનિસ્ટર્સ ની ઓપિનિયન્સના વિના એ એક પગલું ન ભરી શકે. અગર પ્રાઇમ મિનિસ્ટર ના પાડે પ્રેસિડેન્ટને તો પ્રેસિડેન્ટ will not take that decision. So though the president has so many powers, in reality all these powers are basically enjoyed by the prime minister and his ministers. Now we will talk about the vice president. In the absence of president, the vice president performs the function of the president. So when the president is not there, vice presidents perform the function. The vice president election is carried out by the members of both the houses of the parliament. The term period for vice president is of 5 years. The vice president is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. The president submits his resignation to vice president. So what they are saying is the vice president is elected by both the members of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The period for working of vice president is 5 years, and vice president is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. And let's say when a president is resigning, at that point of time resignation is given to the vice president. Next we will talk about prime minister. The prime minister is the real head of the central government. Okay, basically though we say we have a president is given lot of job, president is given this, president is given that, but the real head is the prime minister. The prime minister is the head of the party who has achieved majority in general election. In general election, in normal election, the prime minister gets the majority. Okay, and even his party wants him to become the head. He is appointed formally by the president. The ministers of the cabinet are appointed as per the council of the prime minister. So he is appointed by president formally. Formally એટલે president select કરે prime minister ને, પણ જ્યારે prime minister ને select કરતો હોય ને ત્યારે બધા લોકો જે જીત્યા હોય એ લોકો એમ કે અમારે આને બનાવવો છે prime minister. એટલે president એની વાત સાંભળીને જ તે prime minister બનાવે. And everybody, okay, all the ministers, everybody is appointed on the advice of prime minister. He distributes the portfolios. Okay, he decides that who is going to be in his cabinet ministers, who is going to be what minister. He tells the president, I want this person to be agriculture minister, I want this person to be defense minister, I want this person to be this minister. So based on that, the president appoints the cabinet of ministers. He distributes any ministers can either be taken, left or continued in the cabinet is decided by prime minister. So prime minister decides how long will a particular minister stay, for how much period a particular minister will stay, when he will leave, etc, etc. He presides over the meeting of cabinet and looks after the functioning of various departments. He takes the meeting of these cabinet ministers and he makes sure that everybody is doing their work properly. He takes pivotal decision, meaning he takes all the main decisions. The prime minister is the head of the planning commission, which is also known as policy commission. So policy commission na head is the prime minister. There are 3 levels of ministers under the prime minister: the cabinet ministers, the state ministers, and the deputy ministers. So these are the 3 levels of ministers which are there. The prime minister should be the member of any one house of the parliament. So he can be a member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Okay. The ministers are individually responsible for their ministers and departments. So let's say a particular department is there. Let's say there is an agriculture department. તો એની અંદર જેટલા પણ ministers કામ કરતા હશે ને એની જવાબદારી main minister ની હશે. Okay? The Council of Ministers is collectively responsible and accountable to Lok Sabha. So these cabinet ministers have to answer the Lok Sabha. If the Lok Sabha rejects the policy of the government on a particular time, it is not only the responsibility of minister for that subject, but the whole Council of Ministers must accept the responsibility and resign. Let's say ki they have to make policy. Each department has to make policy. Agriculture department has to make policy. Educational department has to make policy. Defense minister have to make policy. If they fail to make the policy, the whole cabinet is made responsible and the whole cabinet has to resign. Okay. So I will make another video with the governor.